and you're watching Pro Teaches News. Ooh, is somebody talking about pros? Not that kind of pro. See you there.
Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches News. Today I have with me Pika.
Hey.
And today we're doing pretty much a follow-up to our Destiny family stuff. Pika and I had talked about this particular issue during a special video when it came out, and then the miniseries got announced. And we decided once the miniseries finished, we were going to talk about it. And sure enough, it just ended as of this recording today. It's going to be a while before this video comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, what if we get the alternate issue? They did the facsimile of the original issue, but gave us the images of what if he had lived. First of all, just seeing some of these old ads. I love them about the facsimiles.
Yeah.
Remember these?
Before my time.
Each costs 2 minutes, $2 for the first minute, and 45 cents for the additional minute. So yeah, call in and charge your phone bill, parents' phone bill up the ass.
Yeah, like I said, before my time.
Actually, before my time too. Yep. So everything's the same up until this recognized image that had been reshown, like in the annual.
Yeah, it was the kind of weird how Batman looks kind of I don't know how to translate it. Kind of to say the Finnish, he näyttää hoopolta.
This continues on.
Yeah.
But we do get the different dialogue here, of course. You know, just thinking more about what to do about Sheila anyway.
Oh.
Yep, I had no idea how to contact any of Sheila's old friends. Then why would Gordon and Babs be there? It's one thing when it was Jason.
Yeah, this is.
But here. Well, then again, because it's Jason's mom, so real mom, so it's out of respect.
Yeah.
But there is one bit that doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah, when it comes to because Dick was supposed to be on Tamaran while this was happening.
Of course, this could have been right when he gets back.
Well, that's also a possibility. Then again, the way how the Teen Titans issue or New Titans issue, I don't remember which one it was, when they returned from Tamaran and Danny, or was it someone else who told him? Danny told him that Jason had died. And then he went to meet Batman in the Batcave. Batman's mood was kind of like as if the UN incident had already happened.
Well,
or he was.
But that was clearly falling off on the issue where he died. It probably would have done differently if this had happened.
That makes better. So we can argue that.
Wolfman probably would have referenced this scene instead.
Yeah, could also be in the
probably
case.
Probably had him be like, "I'm gonna go talk to Bruce." I mean, you hear they like, "I gotta go talk to Bruce." Goes off and then comes back later.
Yeah, this could be that. So like, if we go. Okay, so like back. So keep this page. Okay, if we go by those other events where this was most just Bruce talking with Alfred.
Yep.
So we would make that the two lower panels. Those could be happening after Dick had already visited him at the Batcave.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, though, and then of course everything then leads up to. Yep, I'm the Iranian ambassador. So this is where then JM DeMatteis, a great writer. Now, from what he said in my interview, they did offer Starlin. Starlin didn't take it.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's because that was his last story arc, pretty much, and he was never a big Jason fan. So why would he want to go back to the character that he hadn't thought about in decades?
It's kind of also surprising to look at it but as when you have a writer who doesn't like a character and then gets to write a story where the character dies, Jim Starlin still gave Jason a modicum of respect. Gave him a respectable way to die in
it's not like other creators who are so spiteful. And I don't think he so much he hated the character. I think it was the case of he didn't like writing him.
Okay, that's.
I think that's the big difference. But yeah, we have JM DeMatteis and Rick Leonardi, and I think Rick Leonardi is trying to emulate some of the more rougher artwork of the day, like Bill Sienkiewicz's issues during Nightfall. Remember that? Dealing with the Scarecrow.
Yeah. Okay, I recall, but I don't. Okay, remember the problem. I need to look it up. It's okay. No need to. I do recall what it is.
Well, I want to show it to the audience anyway. So hold on. Showcase 93. I miss when they did these showcases. Kind of like, just realized I should stop sharing and then reshare.
Yeah. I also learned this when I did the fan stream.
Kind of like this type of artwork. Klaus Janson I meant, not Bill Sienkiewicz's. He was going for this kind of style.
Okay.
Which I do agree with that. I mean, it's a good choice if you ask me. By the way, this was a good Two-Face story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just this. Oh, I keep forgetting that it just ends there. But yeah. So again, I'm pretty sure that's what Leonardi is going for. That style.
Yeah, something to emulate the era where the story would have come out.
I mean, maybe a few years beforehand, but not, because I think some artists were doing it by this point. But yeah. Open up in media res, Joker's dead. Or shot dead. We interrupt our regular programming for a bulletin from the GNN newsroom. The Joker is dead. These events take place after the thrilling reveal on Batman 428. Of course, they would have to mention that. We're awaiting more details, but it's been reported that the Joker's longtime adversary, Batman, was present when the self-styled clown prince of crime met his end. It is unclear whether Batman was responsible for the shooting or he simply witnessed it. A source close to the investigation claims that at the time of his death, Joker was preparing to launch a biological attack on Gotham City. We have yet to verify that information. The Joker, and that's the only name we've ever known him by, his true identity remains a mystery. It's been terrorizing Gotham for years now. His comedic persona masks a demented, sadistic mind, capable of truly horrifying acts of violence. When he first appeared on the streets back in, there are events that freeze time, that ripple through the collective consciousness of a city, a nation, a world, bringing life to a sudden standstill. For many, the assassination of the Joker was one of those events. It was as if people across the globe, even those many thousands of miles from Gotham City who had never encountered him, breathed a collective sigh of relief, as if a terminal disease had been and that had invaded the very cells of the human race had been suddenly eradicated. And if any among us mourned his passing, those tears were shed in private. But to understand the Joker, we have to go back to another ending, to a teenager fighting for his life, and against impossible odds, winning. His name was Jason Todd, known to the world as Robin, so-called boy wonder. It was a wonder that he was still alive. Now, when I had JM DeMatteis on, he did clarify this was just done solely to get his story going. I'm not a fan.
No, this was something that it would be better to just have the story start where the death in the family just ended after the UN incident. It was just acknowledge that it happened, move on.
But because Jason is still alive, Joker could make his big comeback sooner. Although, to be fair, though, he was shot, so... Because basically here we find out that they decided to backpedal. And if this is a joke, I'm not laughing. As for the man, the ivory-skinned lunatic who nearly killed him, he was having a very bad day. I know it looks like I am, but that's the stylistic choice, not a reflection of my true feelings. You know the old saying, laughing on the outside, crying on the inside. In any case, why the hell did you revoke my diplomatic immunity? They call him a lunatic, but is that fair? Put simply, sir, the government of Iran has had second thoughts about your status as ambassador. Impossible! I was assured by the Ayatollah himself that... The Ayatollah apologized, sir, but after further discussing with both our president and the Guardian Council, he has decided that your presence on the world stage would prove inimical to our station's security. Ah, well then, such is life, and such, it's been my experience that the majority of people we call mad have been driven to that state. It's death! By life experience, both brutal and tragic, the price labels on them is reductive. Cruel. That gas could have just as easily killed you all in an instant. But where's the fun in that? Who knows what tortures the Joker endured? What unspeakable agony shattered his psyche into a million jagged shards and locked his authentic self away. Now remember, JM does know Joker. Not JM DeMatteis, he does know Joker. He's the one who did that classic Joker going sane story.
Yeah, okay.
You know about that one, right?
Yeah, I know the story. I never paid attention to who.
We can go over that in the future.
Yeah.
It's the unfathomable depth of his own mind. Better, isn't it, to paralyze you and watch the horror in your eyes as I slowly slice and dice you into tiny little. No one's dying at your hands, Joker. Not today. Yikes. I think the other thing is he might have been doing this just to keep it more compressed, to have Batman take out Joker quicker. But either way, though, this doesn't make sense. Nothing about the original story was Jason living or dying would have connected back to the Ayatollah.
Yeah.
It's a case where it's that butterfly effect where one thing changed and a whole bunch of other things changed. That could be what he's going for.
Probably, but not on this scale.
Yeah. Especially, they knew what they were going to have him do.
Yeah, this is just, idiot ball on their hands. Like I just said, have them go through the damn UN incident.
And maybe not have him get shot.
Yeah. I have the...
Oh, no, wait, I didn't realize. It should go up until the chopper scene.
Yeah,
Batman would end up being a very different mindset.
Yeah, that would have been much better to have it be there. And then the Joker could have actually gone, okay, see...
So instead of getting shot, he didn't get shot, he still gets away.
Yeah, and there could actually be a proper time skip, for example, if he wants Joker to come back. Like a time skip during which jumps from there to when Jason eventually wakes up from the coma. That would have been
Yeah, it would have been fine, like, up until this point. This is the point where, like, everything up to here is where we have issues. But from this point on, it's fine.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Kind of the same issue I have with the Sianko Roberts with White Knight. It has a kind of a rushed starting point, but when it goes forward, then it becomes okay, this is much better. But the opening could do some overhauling. I
will say, though, I do think with White Knight, though, he was also trying to set up the difference with his Batman as well, because his Batman is different. Wouldn't you say? Not ever again. Look, you're clearly upset about the kid, but he made it, right? Wait, how does he know that? Okay, wait. He did know Jason died. He technically did die when they confronted him in the lobby, or in the hotel room. So maybe he had people keeping an eye on things.
I have.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair about that.
Editor, I could.
Well, no, the thing about that though, he did say, "What are you gonna do? Let your little assistant handle it?" So he knew he died. So I think JM DeMatteis is playing off of if Joker knew he died.
Hey, I have a scan here on the editor. I can check out what actually he said.
Saying he wished he was there to see him.
Yeah, I would have paid a lot to see his face when he found the kid's remains.
So that's my guess.
Yeah. Or then again, Jason was still alive when he left him. Or maybe he assumed that the bomb would have taken him out.
That's one thing, but I think JM DeMatteis is playing off on the assumption Joker just had people who could keep an eye on things. Anyway.
So don't tell then.
Yep. No harm done, but there are cases where mental illness isn't the result of trauma, the biological chemical, as if there was a missing wire, a fried circuit in the brain. No harm! Okay, poor choice of words, but don't get your trunks in a twist. Look, I'm not even going to fight you. I mean, what's the point when you're in a mood like this? I give up. But we have the means now. I think Joker's there because he knows Batman just wants to kill him.
Yeah, that would go well with the Deathstreak in mind that I wanted to headcanon with that. And not to mention it's the whole thing also when
it's different than Hush where he knows he deserves it. Here.
Yeah. Or actually if he go also with the Joker knows if Batman won't cross that line and he would actually act like, okay, go ahead, because that's the whole thing. Batman's mental blocks and traumas would stop him from doing anything.
So either way, he gets a win out of this.
Yeah.
Besides, the beating is worth it. Yeah, but we have the means now to help those people too, to offer hope. But there are the cases, rare and disturbing, but the mental imbalance runs so deep, so deep. You never give up. You know me too well. Toodaloo, Betsy boy. So he's at least getting away though. But you notice he's not playing much of a fight though.
This is actually, now that I actually go through it, this actually comes across more as a rewritten version of the last issue.
Yeah.
If that last part was when he meeting with the
UN.
At the UN, the night before the UN. And here this looks like some time skips between this and the bat plane chasing the Joker's whatever boat that is. That's supposed to be the end of that. The final scene of death in the family.
Yeah, this is his own take on it. That even hope itself has no choice but to surrender. Sailing over the bounty bay, for many a stormy wind shall blow, our Joker comes home again. Oh, sailing over the bounty man, for maybe a stormy wind shall. Both would agree that the Joker belonged in that category. Still, there were times I'd wonder, what if it's doing little bat drones tracking me? Bat drones, wait! That's too recent, I think.
Yeah, that's not the late 80s when this would have been taking place.
Right, why won't the crusading Chiropetra leave me alone? If someone with this skill and with more skill than I possess, a genius of the mind like Carl Jung or Benjamin Stoner, damn you, Batman! Damn you! Could have reached down into the morass of psychosis and then, oh, who am I kidding? My heart, such as it is, would break if he didn't keep trying. Right. And brought forth a man. And Superman, you saw it! The man was gonna let me drown! He was trying to kill me! Arrest him! You knew I was following you, didn't you? That I was worried about what you might do to him, and you were counting on me to save him. That's what you like to believe, Superman? Who am I to contradict? I do like that, though, the ambiguity. I do like that.
Yeah, with the lack of internal monologue,
could have gone into it. Yeah.
If they were in an internal monologue, they could actually, internal monologue boxes, if there would have probably given away whatever as a straight answer if there was us drown, or if there was okay, Clark, do what you are gonna do.
Chung, of course, and died in 1961. In the time of these events, Dr. Benjamin Stoner is very much with us. And notice how you say at the time of these events, meaning back in the 80s. Poor man, the Joker, fraying a bit of the edges, perhaps, but that's the price one pays for caring far too much. Yes, no, I know you see him as some embodiment of evil, but in my experience, evil doesn't exist, just gradations of good. You can see the good in him. I try to see the good in all people, especially the inmates of this asylum, and it's my job to awaken that good and use it on especially the inmates It's my job to awaken that good and use it to heal their broken minds. And I suggest, Dr. Stoner is this guy, by the way, yeah. And I suggest, Dr. Stoner, that you're more delusional than your patients, perhaps. But I took the job as director of Arkham specifically. Now, I don't think Jeremiah was around during this point, because this is still when it was the sanitarium.
Yeah. And Jeremiah wasn't introduced until the last Arkham, which was the first storyline of the what was that the name of that title? Shadow of the Bat. Shadow of the Bat, and that started out in the 90s.
Yep. To prove my theory that no one, however monstrous they may appear, is beyond redemption. And if you're wrong, the older I get, Batman, the more I see that compassion is the single most important quality we can cultivate in life. That acts of kindness, however small, have the potential to shake the world. And what... Oh boy, Freeze didn't look like that!
I remember there were some different designs that Mr. Freeze had before.
But this would have been closer to his...
Yeah,
but this is closer to his 90s. And, oh boy, Rick Leonardi is treating it like he did have just an upper jaw, when it's like, no, that's just how the silhouette looked. What better place to put that belief into action than here? But that's supposed to be Raish?
Or Maxi Zeus.
No, it's Maxi Zeus. That little thing around him?
Yeah.
Among the soul society views as hopelessly corrupt, immoral, and depraved. And if I'm wrong, if, as you suggest, this belief in the inherent good in humanity, it's just some delusion on my part, I'd rather fail in the service of that delusion than succeed in a world of cynicism and despair. A world the Dark Knight knew intimately. But Batman was just one aspect of a very complex man. A mask he used as both a weapon against and protection from that despair. If Dr. Stoner had seen beneath the mask, he might have been astonished to find a man, not unlike himself, kind, compassionate. It's so good to have you home, Jason. You're looking stronger every day, isn't he, Alfred? He is indeed. I made your favorite breakfast, Master Jason. Scrambled eggs with mozzarella cheese and a side of chips. Not hungry. You've got to eat, Jason. The doctor said. I said I'm not hungry. Maybe later then. Maybe. Would you like to take a drive with me this morning? We can go into the city and... No, you haven't left the ground since your return from the hospital, Master Jason. And a day out would do you a world of... What part of no don't you understand? And deeply flawed. Enough! We've tolerated your moping, your self-pity, your insufferable rudeness for weeks, but it stops now. I know what you're going through, Jason, but you don't know anything. He was right. He was right, Bruce told me later. I know. We can never really know what's in someone else's mind. I know who this is and heart. But we have to try, don't we? Especially when it comes to the people we love. And he kept trying and failing as Jason drew himself deeper and deeper himself. Now, obviously, this whole book is done with a modern writing and with being a mini involved. When obviously, if this was done back then, this would have been a couple of issues or something, a backstory with the main story going on.
Obviously. Yeah.
Which I don't mind that for this. It's for the context of the mini. This wasn't meant to be a literal, how it would have been written back then. He needs help, Alfred suggested. A skilled professional who can deal with Bruce cut him off. We don't, he said, turn to the outsiders for help. We keep it in the family. In the mood for some company? No. Too bad. If you're here to lecture me, Dick, oh no, that's Dick. In the mood for some company? No. Too bad. If you're here to lecture me, Dick, forget it. I get enough of that from Bruce and Alfred. No lectures. I promise I just want to talk. Dick Grayson was the closest thing to a brother Jason had. Jason respected him, admired him, and yes, he was jealous of him too. Dick, after all, was the first Robin. In Jason's eyes, he was the favorite son, the shining example that he could never live up to. But he also was the only other soul on Earth who understood what it was to be Batman's partner, to go out there at his side, night after night, facing the unimaginable. So they walked, so they talked, not about anything significant, certainly not about what happened with the Joker in Ethiopia. No, they bantered as brothers do, even laughed. And when they were done, Dick was certain Jason had turned a corner. That with a little time and care, the boy would be his old self. He was, of course, spectacularly wrong. Your guest has arrived, sir. Dr. Saraswati Dev. Dr. Dev, welcome. Please call me Sarah. You could call me Bruce. His tone was welcoming, but I could feel his caution, his suspicion, as if I were an intruder, an invader. I didn't blame him. Despite the fact that I was at the top of my field, which the Dev Institute pioneering work with trauma patients was the very reason he contacted me. I was only 28 years old. Oh, could he really trust me with the tender psyche of the child he so loved? But as Bruce began to open up about Jason, the damage the boy had suffered, the loss he endured in Ethiopia, carefully editing the tale, of course, to protect his double life, I could feel his suspicion and dissolve a bit, supplanting by his desperate need to bring Jason back out of the shadows and into the light. So that's it! You wanted to send me away to her, to some institute? You think I'm broken? You think I'm crazy? He's been listening at the door, so not so much hearing what was said as to and what he chose to hear. Of course not. But Jason, we can't go on like, maybe you're the one who needs to be locked away, Bruce. You ever think of that? Because let's face it, you're the one who let it happen to me. Now
That's all.
What?
No. That's
he's lashing, dude. He's lashing.
That's lashing out and probably either I'm not sure if he's remembering it wrong or if
he doesn't want to blame himself.
Or he doesn't want to blame his mother, or
who does get mentioned here.
At least Sheila gets acknowledged.
Yeah,
but the influence that she had in leading up to Jason's death that's.
Give bravo to the DeMatteis. If he could do that when Jeff Johns never did.
Yeah, something I very much bring up in my currently being edited 3 Jokers video.
You should have mentioned a little bit, about this, like maybe an addition and an addition thing. By the way, it's funny when JM DeMatteis will actually acknowledge Sheila in the Robin Lives mini, but Jeff Johns wouldn't. How's that for an idea?
Hold on. This one was. Well, I guess we hold on.
What are you doing? I'm going to grab a drink quickly.
Yeah, you grab drink on. Okay, let's
I'm
put
back.
That. And funny.
I mean, great. Now, of course, you can also acknowledge. Granted,
I'm actually close to editing this part in the video. I'm just if I add this here, I can record it after we're done.
Yep. Now you should at least acknowledge. You should at least acknowledge, though. Now, to be fair, although in JM DeMatteis' defense, this what he was writing what happened immediately after. So, I think that is one advantage JM DeMatteis had.
Yeah. When JM DeMatteis did the Robin Lives all
AU. I would say AU.
Okay, AU story this year. Here he paid more attention to Jason's mother than
Even though it's for one scene, it was still
more että ei sen tytse.
That's more than she's ever had since.
In one scene. Okay, I need to find a good place to put this on what I have already written.
Okay, but that's good. That's okay. Yeah. But anyway, those words were like bullets, and I watched them tear through Bruce's heart. He wanted to race upstairs after Jason, but I convinced him to wait. Give the boy time to calm down, reflect. And that, unfortunately, was my first mistake. Developing chaos at Gotham Museum. Jonathan Crane, a.k.a. the Scarecrow, was an abused, brutalized child who, as an adult, elevated his pain into an art form, who coped with his own crippling fears. You know, I gotta say, I actually do like some of those ideas of the bully becoming, victim becoming the bully in his case, and that's what drove him.
That's how the cycle most of the time goes.
Yeah, but
some
I didn't
people,
like that.
because they have that feel of weaknesses and they want to push it to someone else.
Yeah.
In some cases there are already bullies who then take some people with them onto somewhere and they do the monkey see monkey do bully with them, and then when the victim like is taken away, then they need to find someone weak, and one of them might end up becoming those.
But one thing I also do like though is it set him on the path, but it's not the sole reason, but he will go back and act on it then.
Oh.
So it's a case where it's part of his life, but it's not the sole driving force, but he will still bring it back, go back to it if he's ever needing a target.
Oh.
Not quite the annual gala you were expecting tonight, was it? At least he's not rhyming. I had to go there. I'm sorry. That got so annoying.
Oh, it was one thing.
You see, by the way, quick thing, little side tangent. I just realized something about Loeb that I think Hush 2, the upcoming Hush 2, I think that's giving us a tease about the Batman Part 2. I think it might give some more proof that he's going to that because given how a big reason the last Halloween was being worked on was because of Penguin and the Batman Part 1. I have a feeling the Batman Part 2 is done to try and get things ready and hyped up, advantage of, so that once it finishes up and everything, the Batman Part 2 will come up and Hush is going to be the villain. How's that for a theory?
Probably. If they can also did the whole better backstory for Tommy Elliott as Hush, so whatever Loeb manages to do on his own in Hush 2, then that's another thing. And whatever then Matt Reeves can do those then.
Yep. The big question is it going to be set in the past? I think it is. I have a feeling it's going to be set. If anything, I hope it overrides Return of Hush.
I still want my money back for having bought that book.
Anyway, not the star-studded celebration of your own insufferable egos that you moneyed vermin so adore. By releasing fear in others, opening the cages hidden in the recess of their psyches, and releasing the monster within. The class's victim turned victimizer. But I can't help wondering, was Crane's transformation inevitable, or could he have walked a different path? After all, many of us know pain, endure trauma without becoming psychopathic sadists. And is it the true test of character, the true test of our souls, what we choose to do with our pain? I don't claim to have an answer. But what Jason Todd chose to do that night was prove to himself even more that he could push through the trauma, go back out into the world, and once again be what his coward guardian trained him to be. A hero. The little bird. And if you're here, can the bat be far behind? But a noble goal, however admirable, I don't need him to take you down myself. And I see you've come prepared. That mask will certainly protect you from the fear gas. Isn't a viable treatment for post-traumatic stress. But gas isn't the only delivery method for delivering my... Oh yeah, because he did actually have a face mask on. Is it the only method for delivering my chemical and stew into the bloodstream? Whip! My hands, he told me later, were trembling. I was sweating. My heart was hammering in my chest. And I knew long before the toxins kicked in that I wasn't ready, that I made a terrible mistake. Prepare yourself for a severe spanking, young man. But let me tell you right from the start, this is going to hurt you a lot more than it does me. Isn't that what he said?
I have
See, that's the exact lines.
Hold on, was it on this panel? Yeah, won't hurt me. This won't hurt me anymore than it's gonna hurt as much as much as it's gonna hurt you.
Well, you can chalk that up for Jason not remembering those events clearly.
It's proven fact that most people remember some things incorrectly. By the way, that was something I actually realized. That Scarecrow can also do like a wound and got to put those fear toxins, not just fear gas, but fear toxins into people's systems.
Yep. Bam! It's all right now, Jason. Your mother's here. Not much of a mother, I know. I couldn't stop Joker last time. I wouldn't stop him. And I'm sorry, Jason. So very sorry. Don't struggle, son. Don't try to run. This is for the best. You see, the only way Mommy can protect you is if you join her in the grave. Ah! That certainly went well. I think I'll take you with me when I leave here, boy. Yeah, we'll have a little therapy session. I was a psychologist, you know. I'm quite skilled. And just think of all the secrets I can pry from that splintered psyche of yours. All I can learn about you and about... Oh! Hey! What? What? You can stop now, Batman. He's finished. We'll take Scarecrow from here, and you better look after the kid. Briss told me that the way the officer said it, the kid made him feel humiliated, ashamed. And Jason, he said, never looked more like a kid than he did in that moment. So vulnerable, so small. I'm here, Robin. I've got you. Which begs the question, why did he do it in the first place? Whatever possessed him to bring a child, and I promise I'm never letting go into the Batman's world. I can believe that this could be this having Jason around, going through all this stuff, more than just losing Jason would have him start to doubt himself. I believe that.
If also we go with post-crisis, the original one, not the one with that Chuck Dixon did, what that was taken after with how Dick was originally Batman relieved him of the position. It was kind of that Joker managed to fatally wound Dick when Robin. People saw it, and he decided to let people believe that Robin is dead, and just
yeah.
And there was also the whole thing about in Jason's original Max Allan Collins origin story that he wasn't actively looking after a new Robin. Like when he met Jason, he took him to the boys' school. That was
I remember.
Yeah.
Although it's always been up in the air. If he did that, not knowing what's going on there, or if he did it knowing what was going on there.
Yeah, he didn't. When he found Jason again having stolen some other car's tires, Jason told him he went after Magon and those hoodlums, her students. And when Jason proved to be a good backup partner to him, that's when he decided to make him a Robin.
Which they even mentioned Death in the Family. They summarized it, but yeah.
Yeah, and Scott Lobdell also acknowledged it in DC Rebirth.
Right. Yep. No joke. No kidding. No joke. No kidding. I swear, I'm not pulling your leg. From this moment on, the Joker is dead. Oh boy, it's like this Stoner guy is going to be like a more legitimate version of the guy from Dark Knight Returns.
Bartholomew Volper.
Yeah. I'm done with it all. Sick. to the bottom of my corrupted soul. Do you have any idea what it is to be me? To gaze within myself every day and find nothing but lunacy and chaos. To forge through my consciousness for even the tiniest spark of regret for my terrible crime and find nothing. Okay, this guy's naive to the point of being an idiot. He really does not see that Joker's playing him.
Yeah, no. It is like that.
Actually, no. Never mind. He does.
Uh-huh.
Never mind.
Okay.
But you have regret now? Yes, because you've helped me see the light, Dr. Soda. You're a saint, sir, and you've raised me from the pits of... Stop what? This charade. Wait, was it the saint bit? Too far, Doc? Too soon? Okay, so he's not that stupid. But I'm disappointed in you, Joker. You're disappointed in me? You're disappointed in me? It's been more than 3 months since Batman returned the Joker to Arkham Asylum. I'm an entertainer, an artiste of the highest order. I have been giving the performance of a lifetime in here, day after day. 3 months of uniquely targeted drug cocktail, calibrate a set of data, frenzied nervous system. Do I get applause? The standing ovation I deserve? No! And pacify rioting and brain chemicals. I get the whiny and disappointment of a pathetic little man. Well, let me get my hands on you, little man, and you'll see what disappointment really is. 3 months of daily therapy session with one of the most brilliant psychiatric minds on the planet. Let me go, damn it! Let me go! Let me go! His psyche, Dr. Benjamin Stoner wrote in an unpublished paper of his infamous subject, is so shattered either by long-buried trauma or genetic abnormalities. His madness is so deep he can't be held responsible for his actions. The Joker isn't a man; he's a force of nature, a raging cycle in human form. I believe there is a man, tormented, terrified, vulnerable, trapped in the center of that cyclone. And I would risk anything, even my own life, to set him free. But please don't drop me! Then tell me what I want to know. I can't! Don't kill me, yes! Bruce Wayne has spent a good part of his adult life chasing that whirlwind. Some, perhaps many people would say a self-styled vigilante who assumes the persona of a bat is every bit as mad as his unhinged opponent. I don't count myself among them, although there have been times when my fate has been tested. Jason Todd has been desperate to prove to both Wayne and himself that his near-fatal encounter with the Joker in Ethiopia hasn't crippled him, physically or psychologically. Details, Teddy, now! But going it alone against a master of psychological torture like the Scarecrow? Alyosha! More! It's a club run by the Russian mob, and that's all I know, I swear! All that did was shatter Jason's psyche into 1,000 jagged shards, and it almost shattered Bruce Wayne. Now, I will say, again, I do buy a lot of the Bruce part of this, to a point. Do you? Again, it's one thing to have him die, but then you have him buried in a grave and a costume there as a memorial and everything. But here you have the constant reminder of the failure still alive.
Yeah, it is like a
JM DeMatteis
near-death experience and actual death and
dealing with the guilt.
The grave. That those would be different things.
I'm just talking about with Bruce.
Yeah, well, it's not his death, but it's someone else's death. That's
in the process. He's been on a rampage through Gotham, hardly sleeping, always on the move. So in other words, this is no different than how he was in after Jason's death, but it's more driven, trying to exercise his guilt over what had happened to the boy. He failed to save Jason from Joker, from Scarecrow, but perhaps if he saved other innocents, it would somehow balance the scale, ease his torment. That's how he found himself in the darkest corner of Gotham's East End, face to face with the assassin called Copperhead, who'd been hired as an enforcer by the Russian crime boss, Rodions, whatever, a sociopath so utterly lacking consciousness and empathy in the most fundamental aspects of human decency. that even other mobsters called him a monster. A monster who Bruce and Batman learned was trafficking children. He looked down in those desperate eyes and saw Jason Todd, saw Dick Grayson, saw himself, 8 years old, covered in his parents' blood. But for all he accomplished during those weeks, all the criminals he put behind bars, all the lives he saved, his guilt remained. The scales aren't balanced, and perhaps, how are you feeling today, Jason? I feel great, Dr. Dev. They never would be. So how about letting me go home? You're not a prisoner here. There are no locks on the door. You can leave at any time. Not unless you tell Bruce that I'm better. Are you better? I just told you We've talked at great lengths about many things, Jason. Your parents, Bruce, the thugs that brutally attacked you in Ethiopia. But all the while, you've been withholding. Well, what do you mean? What you're telling me is only part of the story. The deepest parts, the truest parts, remain hidden. You don't know that. All I have to do is look at you. I can see the missing pieces flowing behind your eyes. There's nothing else to tell. I was a rich tourist in a poor country. It's no surprise that they made me a target. If I was in their shoes, I might have done the same thing. Really? You can imagine beating someone so badly their bones break apart, their organs bleed in. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Then why don't you tell me? What are you capable of, Jason? This is all so stupid. There's nothing wrong with me, and I'm not hiding anything. So why don't you just leave and let me go home? It was clear to me that he didn't want to go home. That for all of his protestations, the Institute had become kind of a protective cocoon, a safe space. But safe from what? There were those hidden details again, those missing pieces of a story within the story. Something else happened in Ethiopia, and something had happened the night Jason ran away from their Wayne estate. Something terrible that re-triggered the boy's original trauma. The Jason Todd I encountered the night Wayne brought him to me was trembling, babbling, nearly catatonic. We made great strides in our work together. But genuine healing, couldn't begin to happen until those elusive missing pieces were finally found. I was shocked in some strange way. I think Bruce is realizing he is the same thing. She can't help him if she doesn't know.
Yeah, and it's also doctor-patient confidentiality. She would be forced to keep in her.
Yeah, but am I right about that? It's like there's absolutely no way she can help him if she's not in on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What happened to Jason is too important.
Yeah,
it's too important.
Yeah, that's important. That the doctor needs to know what she's working with. And
yeah.
Not actually. This is not even the first doctor-patient confidentiality thing that Batman has gone for with. There's the first story where Green Arrow got the costume that Neil Adams made for him.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
That also story had some other psychiatrist who was a son of a senator who was shot, and Bruce was then made a temporary senator in his place to vote for some law. And then there was because there was also some things that he needed to talk about with that senator's son, who was a psychiatrist. He told him that he was Batman, and why? Because deserve to know, and you won't tell anyone because of the doctor-patient confidentiality. And then also Oliver had ended up telling him too that he's Green Arrow.
Yep. Just a second.
That's one of my earliest videos talking about that story.
Right.
I don't know if it's still up. It's one of those earliest that's done rather poorly.
All of early videos are that way, dude. Just a minute. Our video started up.
I need to also share it. And...
Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Because that was a good one.
Joo. Actually, let's quote with.
All right, just one sec. Okay, I'm back. I just gotta be sure to edit this stuff out.
Yeah.
I know. I think and as long as I edit this out, people are not going to be able to. I mean, only a few people will know. You know what? And why? You know what I mean. Never mind. Never mind. Just making sure everything is okay. Anyway, I was shocked, but in some strange way, I'm glad you came. And you came. I'm glad you trusted me enough to. Not surprised. This isn't about you. This is about Jason. In order for you to help him, you have to know. Then let's start with one question. Why? Why expose a child to the dangers, the insanity of the Batman's world? No response, but the shame in his eyes.
That is such a long story that he would need to.
And a loaded question too.
Yeah, loaded question, long story, all the circumstances in it, and things that lead to one another, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
That we have already spoken of during this.
Spoke volumes. Time to die. Come on, brutal. You can't possibly think taking Nightwing out could be that easy. I was facing murder psychopaths the moment that you look like that make you look like a look like an amateur. Wrestling was the very question I put forward before I hit puberty. Expecting me to be impressed? Why? I'm not. Why take a wounded child under your wing, nurture him, protect him? The assassination you interrupted tonight would have paid me millions, but now I'll have to collect my payment, then take him by the hand and lead him in blood into a nightmare. Well, we're seeing the reason why, because it worked before.
Yeah, that was one something you could actually argue that
you could now this question would have more momentum if Jason was the problem, but Jason's not the problem. He's almost never been the problem.
Yeah, that's kind of a high standard that Dick Grayson and Nightwing has. You could actually say that Dick Grayson is his own man, but he had a better upbringing. But as a person, he is pretty much also. I don't want to say Batman, but Bruce's creation, but the upbringing he got from Bruce and Alfred. That's that. Dick obviously owes those, at least those for him. But if it wasn't for him, Dick would have ended up as.
Who knows what he could have ended up?
As a Talon or as a maybe some runner for the mafia.
Yeah.
Or 6 feet, or in a cement shoes down the river. That's the 3 outcomes I could think of.
Yeah, definitely. But I thought I saw you up there. Let's go and get you home, kid, and patch you up. Ow! Really, Dick? Bertel stabs you and you don't utter a sound? With a few stitches and you're howling? Well, you're a little heavy-handed there with the needle. I'm not a doctor. Exactly. Sure you're okay? What?
That's actually an actual psychological thing because when you get wounded, it doesn't register. But when you realize that there is a wound and you see it being treated, it automatically gives your brain the idea that okay, there it is. It's supposed to hurt and it hurts. It's a subconscious thing. For example, I once had something of not exactly a motorcycle accident, but scooter accident. I was trying to leave for work. I was late from work. I was trying to use my brother's scooter to get there in time. It whirled around and I fell and saw that my jeans got ripped off. Okay, I'll just go back home, go up the stairs, change clothes. I was just about to think about it and saw a finger thick wound on my knee. And that
I get the details. The details.
The shock of the sight of it. That you don't register it when it happens. Just seeing it, that's the worst aspect.
Yeah, that's when you raise your mind's like, wait, that's what it is? Oh, I should be in more pain.
Yeah.
And if you forget you weren't in that much pain beforehand.
Yeah, I still have the scar.
Oh, yikes. You sure you're okay? I'm fine. You know I would have stepped in sooner if I thought you were in any real danger. Goes without saying. But what were you doing there in the first place? Why are you in Bloodhaven? You regret it, Dick. This life of ours? Do you think you would have been better off if you never met me? If there had never been a Robin or Nightwing? The truth? Sometimes I hate this. Sometimes I wish I had a normal childhood that I never heard of. Batman, wait, where are you going? That's not what I get what he's trying to say. He was going to lead into saying, but I never give it up for a life. But Bruce.
Yeah, it's a thought that come and go. It's like
Yeah.
it's like temporary depression of how your life.
Like you don't want to be in denial saying, "Oh, it was the best."
Yeah, it comes and it goes. Those are thoughts that come and go. Those are not something that you have all the time.
That's what he said. Sometimes, but Bruce is not in a right mind state. So he's taking it as I done effed up.
Yeah.
But like what? That's not what I. Damn! It wasn't his answer that set me. Bruce told me later. It was the fact that in all those years, I never asked the question. How are the new medications? I feel calmer, I suppose. Clearer, but he's still in there. The Joker. I want him to be gone. I want him to be the man I was before. And who was that? I don't know. I can't remember. But he wasn't like but he wasn't like him, like me. He was a good man, a decent man. At least, I hope he was. Oh God, what if I was always like this, a sick, sadistic monster? It's not the past that matters, not who you are, but who you choose to be. From this moment on, I truly believed, Stoner wrote, that we'd make a breakthrough. That at long last, I reached the fragile, frightened man at the heart of the storm. Surprise! And Sandra! I've always hated that name. Call me Clayface. Now stop struggling, Doctor, and let me do what I've dreamed of doing for so long. Let me smother lights out of... So wait. Did he actually think that was Joker, or... Given how they have all that stuff there... Oh...
Wait!
I know what it is. He asked her to try and do what he wants Joker to do. Because why else would he have this here?
Yeah.
That means this was designed for her.
Yeah, now to mention it, yeah. Why would it?
Because that's what I'm saying.
Or would it? Or would it? Or
no, wait. I gotta check one thing. Hold on. No, wait. Never mind.
Or maybe there are multiple different ways to pacify any patient, and they do it.
True, but this seems too tailor-made for her.
Oh.
But as I did this before Mudpack, so she would be in Arkham. Because Mudpack, she would then be out and wouldn't be seen again until Night's End.
Yeah.
But this is before that, because Mudpack was after Jason's death. I was a fool. You can't be serious. You can't be serious. It's for the best, Jason. Who's best? Yours? That's what this is all about, right? You want to get rid of me, and no. That's what and what I want is for you to be safe. What I want is for me to never be Robin again. How can you do that? You trained me. You made me into someone I can be proud of. Being Robin gives my life purpose and meaning, and now you just take it away? Let me explain. Get out, Jason. Get out. No, get out. Mr. Wayne, Bruce, you look like you could use a friend. I really could. Even after months of crime scene analysis, interrogating inmates, painstaking dissection of the surveillance videos, investigators were never able to determine how they did it. How or when. Oh, no, so they did swap!
Oh.
Like how or even when Sandra Fuller assumed Joker's identity. How long have I been unconscious? Just a few hours, Ben. But don't worry, the sonics neutralized Clayface. And at what point, oh no, whoop, 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 the Joker escaped. Sorry about your car, buddy. I love seeing it breaking down like that. But I'm happy to give you a ride back into the city. Moorman's Industrial Laundry. Nice to have the company what's it like anyway, working as an orderly in that place? Must wear you down after a while, dealing with the loonies day in and day out. Actually, I like the loonies. They're my kind of people. They found the driver's body the next morning. Throat cut, mouth twisted into a grotesque, humorless grin, and the laundry truck was discovered abandoned, 40 miles north of Gotham. The Joker's whereabouts, unknown. Oh, the wheels of my head go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels of my head go round and round. If only he'd vanished forever. But he didn't. He couldn't. And we're all gonna die. The tragedy that unfolds in the following weeks was inevitable. And it altered Bruce Wayne's life. Jason Todd, and yes, even my own, forever. Now, see, this is why I prefer Leonardo's artwork here. Not the rough ones.
Ugh.
What do you think about each issue opening with this? Jason, it broke me. And in a strange way, that breaking, oh, Harold, you were a master genius, was the best thing that could have happened to me. The best thing, debatable, but it was a turning point. The moment when Jason was truly born. And Robin, and do you even remember? Do you even remember? And do they even remember you today? No, but I remember you. You, Charlie Buster, all of them, lords of laughter, gods of giggles. You're like, was buried forever. You'll never be seen again. You understand, now, little friend, don't you? But passive for comedy today, it's inspired, vulgar. But Harold and the boys, they didn't have the crawl into the gutter to get an audience rolling in the aisles. Ho, 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 ho. You're right, pal. You're right. But of course, JM DeMatteis had to put a blah ha ha. Like, I knew there was a sense of humor beneath that cowl. But before we can fully examine that turning point, we have to go back to the days leading up to it and the diseased mind that initiated that tragedy. And maybe now, finally, you can see what I've been doing all these years, upholding a glorious tradition, continuing the great legacy of these. Oh, please. Did I hear a comment from the peanut gallery? You bet I've got a comment. Those comedy gods of yours, they suck. Shut up, you arrogant ignoramus. Shut up, shut up. What a load of corny, outdated garbage. I mean, how idiot, and some idiot in a straw hat hanging from a clock tower. You think that's funny? Yeah, funny as a crap. Shut up! We don't know if the Joker had been holed up in that long shutter video store since he escaped from Arkham, or what exactly he was doing there. But even the bloated, mutilated bodies that were eventually discovered hidden beneath the floorboards, not real. Not real? Along with the bruise of toxic chemicals and biological agents left behind, not real! It was simple enough for the authorities to piece together. But wait, what is reality anyway? A construct of the individual mind? Society's shared delusion? A program in some divine hologram? Well, this particular prankster prefers to see it as one big fat cosmic joke. And as always, I intend to have the last laugh. That said, given the Joker's volatile history, it was probably far worse than anyone imagined. Concealing his identity, taking me to his parents' grave required both courage and vulnerability. Of course, courage was something Bruce Wayne displayed every day when he put on Batman's cape and cowl. But vulnerability, well, that wasn't exactly his forte. All right, I appreciate you bringing me here, Bruce, when you'd rather be out continuing your search for the Joker. But I have to ask, why? I'm a psychiatrist, a damn good one. I already knew why, but Bruce needed to say it himself. Certainly not to gain your sympathy, Dr. Dev. Understood, and why? I was 8 years old when my parents were murdered, when I watched them die. The impact that must have had. Okay, I get her purpose, but if she actually existed in this, people would call her a purity Sue or a romance Sue.
Obviously.
But again, for the purpose of this story, I can accept it, but it gets a little trite. Can you agree to that with that?
Yeah, kind of weird to see that.
Again, she's not a bad character. In fact, I feel she's one of the better ones.
Well, yeah, considering how the amount of which how she's used, not too little, not too much.
And again, I could have seen if this was done in a more traditional story and she was the new love interest that built up to this moment. I could see her being accepted, actually. If JM DeMatteis was actually writing this back in the day, I could see her being one of the better love interests.
Yeah, the kind of new love interests that are brought in place of the more popular ones. That those are kind of a hit and miss kind of ways.
But I think she could have worked in a longer format. In the short miniseries, I'll say this: she's better than year 2.
Yeah,
that was way too forced. This one has build up.
Yeah, that was the same amount of issues, and the execution is better.
I know, thicker issues, to be fair.
Okay, that's true.
But still, yeah, this. Well, remember that one? They were trying to get to the romance within the first issue.
Yeah.
Convincing her not to join the convent? Really? Bruce is just that much of a suave bachelor that he can make a woman turn from the clergy?
Yeah, well, that was that was supposed to be the young year 2 Bruce who probably wasn't even planning to be Batman for long, and was planning to retire to marry her.
Yeah, but still, to be that suave that he can do that.
Yeah,
I saw
the Bruce we have. The Bruce we have here is older and
he's broken.
A little more wiser, but also self-aware-ish.
Yeah. Although I will say, I'm like, what does it say for her to say I'm a psychiatrist, a damn good one? Is that pride or arrogant? I feel that's pride.
Yeah, probably pride. I guess. But actually, there's also okay. Her backstory and life outside of this story is, well, it's not relevant to this story. But yeah, if this was written back in the day, then they probably would have fleshed her out more as a character instead of just a romance or
yeah. But again, it could have worked if we had it. But even for the mini, she's not badly written. But it can get annoying. But at the same time, like I said, in a longer form, she could have been one of the best love interests. If JM DeMatteis was writing her. Because there's a lot of good stuff here.
True.
You might think I adapted the Batman persona to act as for vengeance. A little boy paying this god-awful world back for taking his mother and father in such a brutal way. And maybe there's some truth in that. But over the years, I've come to realize that I created Batman as a way to heal. Not just myself, but the city. My father was a doctor. I gotta say, this is one of the things I like that I feel Arkham never focused on. The Arkham vs. Batman focused too much on the being brutal to get back.
The Arkham games are mostly something that that the Arkham games were held back was the whole every game set in just one night and being kind of told in the kind of 24 similar format.
Well, the other thing was also forcing him to
get... We had 3 random nights spread across 18 months in the whole Arkham series.
4 if you count Arkham Origins.
Yeah, Arkham Origins also had the whatever 8-year gap between it. But also then you and Teladian went over talking about the comic tie-ins that Arkham got. Those were also stories that should have probably been DLC episodes or something that would have been like other small flashback episodes that the main games could have had to flesh up and set up some other events that were also happening during those nights when the main games were set.
You know, one thing that always bothered me with the writing in Arkham Knight? The reveal about Riddler saying how he has a perfect memory and perfect recollection and how he wakes up all the way from nightmares and sweat, imagining Batman throttling his neck. And then what does Batman do? I'm sorry. Yeah. Batman, a good written Batman after hearing that, even after all that Riddler does, would hold back.
Yeah, that's actually some good arguments that Serum Lake has been doing with the animated series Batman, being the most compassionate and that way one of the better versions who would have held back. But also
after hearing
Batman,
that,
the brutality of the Arkham Batman was mostly also tied to the gameplay aspects.
then that's the downside of it. That, like, for example, he'd rather pick a fight with Freeze than talk him down.
Well, the Freeze boss fight was probably judged by the whole ticking time, the time running out, and him being poisoned and not having the time
I
to
get
talk.
that, but still, to the point where all Bruce had to say was, I can't save your wife if I'm dead.
That's true. That's also if he's pressured, that would probably be something he thinks later. And I could have avoided this if I just said that.
Yeah, but knowing him, he'd probably be like, knowing this Batman, he'd be like, nope, it's his fault. It's Freeze's fault. Because that's the other thing. This Arkham Batman doesn't seem to own up to his flaws. Think about it. Except for Origins. When has he ever owned up to his flaws?
Not much anyway. That's
The
actually
most he
something
did was Origins, and that was after Alfred nearly died.
Yeah. Something I like to also think about. We're getting lost from the topic.
That's all right, dude. It's all right.
But something I when I did my review on Arkham Origins, or sorry, Arkham Knight, I compared it to Witcher 3 and how it has multiple different endings that the Arkham Knight could have also had those different endings depending on which side characters' side quests had been completed. And if they were running around freely in Gotham, Catwoman, Nightwing, and even Azrael could have shown up to assist him in the assault of the CCPD. And then when he went to when surrendered himself to Scarecrow,
okay,
proper endings that never.
To be fair, I do get the point though that the whole thing was he drove everyone away, and that's what led to him putting being put in that predicament for Scarecrow to take advantage of.
Yeah, but those people could have actually pushed back and come to help him.
Oh no, I know, but that was the whole point though. It was railroading.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. The whole point of it was the railroad thing. But hey, it kind of comes about when we're talking about the psychology of Batman. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me get back.
Yeah, we were here.
Yeah. My father was a doctor, and in a way, so am I. And my patient is Gotham. And the boy you've taken under your wing, young soul that's traumatized, as emotionally shattered as you were trying to heal them too. I wanted to give them strength, purpose, hope. That's pretty much accurate. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty much accurate. But for the first time, you're beginning to see how wrong you were. Oh, how wrong you were. Again, not for Jay and Dick. Jason, yes. Can we agree that Jason, more than likely, yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't say that, but that's clearly what he meant. Even if he wasn't ready to admit it to me or himself, there was just so much introspection Bruce Wayne could tolerate before a whirlpool of emotion threatened to suck him down into the uncharted waters of his own psyche. And perhaps that's what Batman was more than anything else, an escape from the crushing weight of it all. But I've learned that if I've learned anything in my years running the Dev Institute, dealing with hundreds of trauma patients, is that there is no escape for any of us. What's the old saying? Wherever you go, there you are. Don't be afraid, Marky. Come, the mother. You're not my mom. You took me away from her. I want my mom. I'm your mother now, Marky, and a far better one than that heartless went in witch who burst you. And like her, Mother Grib will protect you, provide for your every need, and all I ask in return is love. What's that saying? What are you doing? It's only natural that you'll resist me at first. Why, in the past, some of my young charges have even turned against Mother. But the obedience bands will make sure your love flows to me as easy as mine flows to you. Let me out of here! Let me out! No need for such recalcitrance, child. It will all be over in a moment. Yeah, you! I have bigger fish to fry tonight, Mother Grimm, so why don't you surrender now and spare yourself the humiliating defeat? See what that bad man has done, children? Prevented little Marky from accepting Mother's love and guidance, and he'll do the same to all of you. Bruce had faced Mother Grimm the year before when he was training the first Robin, Dick Grayson. He almost lost the boy to her emotional manipulation then. And to have her reappear when he was on the verge of losing another Robin, unless you stop him! The irony wasn't lost on him. Alice Travers was a fascinating case. She'd been horribly abused as a child, primarily by her mother. It breaks my heart to abandon my little ones, but I'll be back for them once I'm free of the bat. And years later, that abuse resulted in a psychotic break and the creation of a second self, a warped fairy tale persona. Hold on, let me look this up.
I was thinking about how obscure of a character is this.
Oh, she's a more recent creation that's being folded in because she was chronologically set before.
Huh.
She was introduced. Of course, she's a DeMatteis creation.
Okay.
From Legends of the Dark Knight number 149, but because she was set, the story told was set in the past, he's bringing her forward, even though she never existed when all this happened.
Well,
again, so he's thinking more internal continuity than external continuity. I mean, that's not bad if you ask me.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, utilizing that, but Mother Grimm became the benevolent parent Alice never had. I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, seeking out mistreated children, not unlike herself, and offering them sanctuary from the cruelties of the world, whether they wanted it or not. Oh, she's a young woman, of course. On Mother's head, I've lost Mother's head. You made me weak, pathetic Alice again, and for that you're gonna pay. Shh, Monsieur Miserable. Oh dear, I remember those nasty talks of yours all too well. In fact, I've kept a detailed record of their chemical composition, along with an array of antidotes. Now release these children from your control. All right, damn it. All right, they were free. Hey, beep. Oh yeah, but the damage had been done. Despite the indignities she heaped on their children, many of the children had bonded to her, so hungry for even the most warped manifestation of simple human kindness that they couldn't bear to leave her side. That's twisted.
Form of Stockholm syndrome.
I think the point is to have Bruce look at himself and wonder, did I do that to them? You know, to the Robins. That is not a bad... Oh my God, that's not a bad comparison. I mean, obviously, it's not accurate. He's more than that, but...
It's enough to gaslight him or throw shade to his own beliefs and form some...
I like that.
Suspicions on his own actions.
I do like that. Anyway, was it a mistake bringing two boys in the Batman's world? What happened to Jason? What Dick said to me the other night about his regrets, the normal childhood he never had. I honestly thought he was a savior, but perhaps I'm just a monster, no different from Mother Grimm. Haven't I been doing the same thing, dispensing misery in the guise of love? It takes no great wisdom to see that in them, sir. You found the reflection of yourself. You wanted to make them strong so they could survive in the world in a way you never could. Was it the right thing? There were days I was sure it was when I saw those young men growing into their full potential. But I must admit, there were nights I thought you were a reckless fool, and I was just as reckless for going along with you. But I think there's another, a deeper, more important reason you brought Dick and Jason into your life. Enough, Alfred. I've already got Dev analyzing me. I don't need you doing it too. Bruce Wayne, don't you dare walk away from me. You asked for my opinion, and you damn well are going to get it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Little boy Bruce.
Joo.
You brought Dick and Jason into your life because you desperately needed a family to replace the one you lost. You're the only family I ever need. If only that were true. You fashion yourself a loner, Bruce, but you're not. You need people. You always have. Robin, Nightwing, your fellow heroes in the Justice League, and the Outsiders, they're not just partners in your war on crime. They're your sons, your brothers and sisters, an integral part of your life that... What would have happened? What might have changed if they finished that conversation? If they hadn't been interrupted by me? Hey, that was Dr. Death, Jason Bolton from her institute, and I'm sure he's out hunting for the Joker. And what am I doing? Licking my wounds, indulging in useless conversation. So he withdrew again into the identity that gave him both comfort and torment. He became the lie, the grim crusader who needed no one, who was a law unto himself. But the lie was beginning to unravel. Oh, what do you want, Nightwing? To finish our conversation from the other night. What else is there to say? I robbed you of your childhood, ruined your life. That's not exactly what I said. Close enough. Okay, now that's interesting. Is that he's not really listening.
Joo.
His torment is pushing him to look at it more self-destructively.
And kind of self-pitying.
Yep. If you don't mind. Oh, but I do. So you don't have regrets? Of course I have regrets. Of course I sometimes dream of a life without insane risk, without mass and violence. But the life I have, the one you gave me, is so much more. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm not convinced. But it will have to do for now because we have to find Jason. Before the Joker does. Wait, how'd you do that? Trade secret, kid. But maybe I'll share it with you someday. Was Dick Grayson telling the truth when he said he'd fully embrace his life at Nightwing? Or was he simply trying to justify circumstances beyond his ability to change? And even if one Robin had found some measure of peace, it didn't mean the other had. I've talked to 10 lowlifes tonight, Jimmy, and they all led me to you. So where is he, Mr. Big Shot Lawyer? Where is your client? I don't know, I swear! Then I guess I'll just drop you. Wait, I can't be sure, but there's one place he might be. Jason had seen Batman pull stunts like this a dozen times over. So why did he feel so... Hold on. Reluctant. So...
Watermark.
So guilty.
Guilty.
Whatever the guy had done, he told me, Stimson was still a human being. What gave me the right to torture him like that? He began to realize that however noble the goal, once you've been a victim completely at someone else's mercy, it becomes difficult, perhaps impossible, to victimize others. But whatever moral qualms Jason had that night were quickly dismissed. I couldn't question my actions, couldn't second guess myself. I had to act with determination. Welcome, ladies and germs, to tonight's entertainment. A zany, laugh-a-minute frenzy frolic I call with focus and certainty. Robin dies at dawn! Ha! Ha ha! Referencing the old story.
Joo, that story.
Yep. Everything that happened in Ethiopia during my confrontation with the Scarecrow at the Institute, I had to prove it all to you. To myself, most of all, that I wasn't damaged beyond repair. Wasn't the frightened kid everyone thought I was. You should have seen the way I took those animatronic murder machines apart, Sarah. In that moment, I was everything Bruce trained me to be. I really was Robin, the boy wonder. You know what I gotta say? I'm starting to realize Jason is more damaged here than he ever was after coming back from the dead. Think about it. He's more spiraling here. At least when he came back from the dead, he was driven.
Yeah, he's kind of trying to find a purpose in what he has survived through.
As opposed to Red Hood Jason, who basically gave himself a purpose. Wasn't a good purpose.
But
at least it was purpose.
At least it was a purpose. It's kind of like compared to the undead in Dark Souls, those who have a purpose, they can still keep on to their sanity and move on. Those who don't have a purpose and try to find guns, they become, well, they just become mindless zombies.
Dude, I just realized something.
What?
Our Pro Teachers Uber and Greenland Rebirth, it's the 20th anniversary of the first issue.
Today.
Not the literal day, but we're within days of it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh. What are the odds?
Oh, no. Because DC Universe Infinite usually gives us, the dates. So, hold on. I just want to double check, but yeah, I saw the day at some point. So, come on. I'm sorry, I can't believe it.
Oh, hey.
October 27th.
4 days off.
Still close enough.
Oh, hey, my retweet got it's told on my retweet. Someone
yeah.
Eric Sullivan.
Yeah. That's why he said 20 years. That's why I looked it up. I'm like, wait, what's it? Oh my God, it is. I just can't believe it.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Yeah.
In that moment, I was everything Bruce trained me to be. I really was Robin, the boy wonder. Until I wasn't. Welcome, little bird. So delighted you followed the trail of bell breadcrumbs I carefully sprinkled across the city. Jason hadn't dealt with his trauma. He'd run away from it, pushed it down, and now it sprung up like a hideous jack-in-the-box laughing in his face. And he was helpless, paralyzed with fear, certain that this time, ka-conk! He was sure to die. Yes, I think that works. Simple yet effective, traditional yet provocative. But he soon discovered there were some things I should have thought this years ago. At long last, a sidekick of my own. Oh, I can't wait for the word behold, the one, the only, the imitable, Jokey the boy lackey. And worse than death. So JM DeMatteis is typically taken from Return of the Joker a little.
Yeah, and probably throwing some shades to the... No, maybe not. Okay.
Maybe some shades to Red Hood.
Yeah, and the issue that came out today.
Yep, the one that just came out today. Yep. My father, Ganesh Dev, was born in India, about 160 miles east of Mumbai. My family immigrated to the U.S. when Ganesh was 13, and Baba adored his adopted country, adored the city they settled in. Yes, Gotham had his problems, but he wanted to be part of the solution. So he joined the GCPD, and it became not just a profession, but an obsession. Police work was his life, and eventually, his death. Shot 3 times in the chest while stopping a robbery at a convenience store. I was 9 years old, and his murder defined my path and my profession. Good evening, Dr. Soder. Huh? Violence, trauma. These things became Sarwati's Dev's obsession. I spent years studying victims and perpetrators, seeking answers, seeking healing for my patients and myself. I've often found both in my years of running the Dev Institute, but I've also found mysteries, enigmas, minds so warped, psyche so poisoned. Lovely place you have here, that they defied analysis or explanation. A shame we're gonna bloody it up. Joker, your favorite lunatic in the pale flesh, the strapping adolescent, my new sidekick, Jokey the boy lackey. He was only 16 at the time, but Jason Todd was on intimate terms with suffering. Before Bruce Wayne took him in and trained him to be the new Robin, the boy's life had been endless round of depression, fear, and rage. I'm glad you came to me, Joker. I've been concerned about you since your escape. Spare me, Doc! I never buy into your bleeding heart persona. The great Benjamin Stoner, Arkham Asylum's legendary director. But suffering shadowed him, even after that extraordinary transformation. Who cares more for his poor, demented patients than he does for himself? What a load of horse pucky! In Ethiopia, Jason was nearly murdered by the Joker, watched helpless as his mother died. Unfortunately, you pretended to care, Doc, but you despise your patients. And don't you? Almost as much as we despise you. That was just the beginning. Show him how much we despise him, Jokey. Show him till he's dead. Oh, he's repeating it.
Something I came to. I called in my Jason Todd. I creatively dubbed this act as the Gordon Freeman impression.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what the hell you think you're doing, kid? Don't just stand there like a moron with your mouth hanging open. Finish him! You drugged me, controlled me, danced me around like your own private marionette. But I won't do to Stoner what you did to me. I won't become what you are. I'll never become what. Oh, shut up! I guess it's time to finish what I started back in Ethiopia. Time to. Why bother? You're not the worth the effort, kid. You're pathetic. No, you're even worse than that. You're just a bad joke. Toodaloo, Junior. I've got grown-up business with your daddy. I gotta say, I think this also makes someone that I always theorize. Joker willing to kill Robin was a spur of the moment. If he was ever in a similar situation again, he probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah.
It's something I always realize. People always like to say that's a moment where Joker would always do it again. Like, then why hasn't he?
He has spoken about doing it again, but he has not actually done it more.
Oh, great. That would be repeating a joke.
Yeah, like he spoke about when he went after Black Mask when he was told to have been responsible for Stephanie's death, but ultimately didn't do it time. And then there was in the Robin Year 1 when Two-Face has almost also beaten Dick the end of his life with a baseball bat. Then he just called it. I don't know. Also, did he say that good idea, or it was my idea first, or no? Well,
not sure.
Yeah, it was a spur of the moment idea. But maybe also that it works once, but it doesn't work for the second time, or it wouldn't have the same impact the second time.
Anyway, the same trail that first led Robin to Joker's hideaway in Gotham's East End eventually brought Batman and Nightwing there as well. Abandoned, but not for very long. Joker was here recently. The question is, was Jason here as well? And if he was, damn, he was. That means Joker has him. I don't think so. How can you? I set the birdie boy free. Nice of me, wasn't it? So come alone. XO, and love it, and hugs and kisses. Your pal, Joker. Because Joker just told me. Come alone. Come alone where? It was hard to get Bruce to talk about what happened at night. And on one occasion, he grew strangely distant. Don't touch it. It's dead, isn't it? And given the makeshift lab in the corner, it's probably been contaminated by, almost as if he was recounting a dream. By what? That doesn't concern you. The hell it doesn't. We're in this together, or have you? I'm not, he told me, one for spiritual nonsense, but incense and mysticism. But I swear to you, Sarah, something came over me then. A knowledge, a certainty. I've forgotten that, and not together anymore, Dick. Expose you to enough depravity for one lifetime. Again, Bruce is not thinking clearly.
This is also another spur the moment of poisoning. Did he also?
Yeah, he did. Look, right there. Sift.
Yeah, pricked some through the glove or something. It would have, but that would mean he was actually carrying knockout point or something. I don't know if I would have done it. It would have been probably more of a something Batman's version of Falcon nerve pinch or something to make it. And then
true. I'm sorry. When you grab my wrist, I'm sorry. The drug will wear off in about 3 hours, and when it does, find Jason. Look out for your brother. Like I knew Joker was telling the truth. He had set Jason free. I also knew with every fiber of my being that this was our final confrontation, and that neither Joker nor I would survive till morning. 1,000 dark thoughts rose up in Bruce's psyche. It was like a swarm of bats, but even they couldn't compare to the demons clawing at Jason Todd's soul. Facing death at Joker's hand has been one thing, but the humiliation he endured, the shame, it was unbearable. No, he's still alive. Like we found out later that Jason liberated a weapon from a Gotham gun store, then slipped into the Batcave for a change of uniform in hopes of leaving all remnants of Jokey behind. But how he tracked Batman and the Joker down, how he reached them so quickly, that he once told me in a voice that unnerved with his icy disposition, is a secret I'll take with me to my grave. In other words, DeMatteis didn't want to go into the detail. Come out, wherever you are. I know you're here. I can smell that intoxicating, manly scent. And I can smell the awful stench of your evil. Oh, 1 second. Okay, never mind. A bit of a melodramatic overstatement, don't you think? Let's face it, evil is a purely relative concept. To you, perhaps. Okay, let's not quibble and quarrel. What's important is that you're here. Did you follow my little clue? The Mirgani Caves are the only place within a 50-mile radius where this rare offshoot of the northern Mysolis bat can be found. Indeed, hundreds of thousands of them. Why some chipperologists estimate the numbers at well over 1 million. An unsung genius that I am, I've configured an idiosyncratic electronic frequency that allows me to control them. And you're planning to unleash the bats on Gotham. You've infected them with an extremely potent psychoactive agent. Oh, you're so good at this. I'm also going to be good at stopping you. Not this time. Before you can lay one of those magnificent rugged hands on me, I press this little control device embedded in my tooth. And my little horde would be winging their way to your beloved city, spreading an insanity plague guaranteed to make everyone in Gotham as cuckoo as I am. Of course, if you'd like to avoid an unsettling scenario, I do have a very special offer. For a limited time only, you have the opportunity to spare the populace of Gotham, and all you have to do in return is drink this. This being a scrumptious madness cocktail. My very own proprietary blend. Just think of it, old chum. A few tasty gulps, and I'll be like you. No. Don't you see? You've always been like me. Why do you think you spent all these years running around in a ludicrous costume, courting death, endangering children? You're bats. All my crazy juice would do is give you the permission to accept it. In other words, become the joke, the Batman who laughs. Besides, you know as well as I do that we belong together, like Burns and Allen, Abbott and Costello, Leopold and Loeb. I don't know what I was thinking trying to turn that brat into my partner. After all, we've been a team from the start, putting on magnificent performances for an audience of millions. Isn't it long past time? We made it official. Blam! Really, little boy? That's the best you can do? Aiming for the body when any idiot would know I'd be wearing state-of-the-art bulletproof clothing? But you are an idiot, aren't you? An inept one at that. Robin, don't listen to him. If you had half a brain and iota of courage, you wouldn't have aimed for my chest. You would have aimed for my head. But you didn't because you're too weak for gutless and too gutless for that. Aren't you? Aren't you? I want you to leave, Robin. Now, go and let me take care of. No! At last. I think DeMatteis believes your theory. Good, at last!
Joo.
Jason, what have you done? The Joker is dead! I had a plan, damn it! A dozen plans to stop him! Why couldn't you let me? Jason, Bruce's blood froze. He was gone. And I had a terrible feeling that he was gone for good. That I'd never see him again. He alerted the authorities, but slipped away before they arrived, leaving a quickly scrawled note warning about the bat and the mind-devouring disease they carried behind. The Miyagani caves were sealed off. A few days later, they were dynamited into oblivion. As for the Joker's dead body, the note provided no explanation. Jason, we've been searching for you for hours. Why did you run? Why didn't you come home? Don't pretend to be kind. You both hate me. I know you hate me. I'd hate me too after what I've done. Hate? Never. We love you, and we always will. No heroes then, no villains, no accusations or remorsations, just a father and his two sons, a family coming together in a time of unspeakable pain. But what was Bruce to do? Turn the boy over to the police? He considered it, and he knew, given the fact that the man robbed and killed was a mass murderer planning to infect the entire population of the city, the chances of conviction were slim. Of course, putting Robin on trial would expose Jason to the world and expose Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson in the process. But to their credit, neither Bruce nor Dick cared about that. All that mattered to them was Jason's welfare, which is why Bruce ultimately decided the best thing was to leave Jason's death and Joker's death a mystery for the conspiracy theorists to obsess over. And if people blame Batman, I'm pretty sure he told Gordon at least.
Well,
I'm positive he told Gordon. And hey, this also means Babs never got no wait, which came first?
The Killing Joke came first.
Okay, never mind. You're right, because she was in the wheelchair. You're right. I got mixed up. It's easy to get it mixed up, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a whole
close together.
Yeah, it's one of the whole many things I talked about in the opening of my brief.
Because Robin was an in-killing joke.
Should have been. I even point out the fact that when they made the two animated movies, the Killing Joke movie has the image of Jason's corpse on the Bat computers, imply that it has already happened, and the Cash Grab animated movie, Jason says that he knows that Joker put a bullet through Barbara's spine. I mean, it's kind of...
Those were never both supposed to be part of the same continuity.
No, yeah, they weren't supposed to be part of the same continuity, but when we have people who are too lazy to read, they just know the animated movies and the stories
You're right.
and that creates...
They'll be confused. But anyway, he didn't care. I'm responsible for everything that happened, he told me. I sealed Jason's fate the minute I brought him into Batman's world, which is why that world has to die. And Batman has to die with it. No, he died already in that awful cave with that awful man. My father, he went on, was a healer. My mother was a philanthropist. It's time I abandoned a wounded child's quest for vengeance, stripped off the mask, stepped out of the shadows, and walked in their light. They brought Jason, so wounded, so shattered, he was nearly catatonic, again, to the Institute, where together we took the first steps in a long, harrowing journey to healing. Gotham needed healing too, after the trauma of Joker's death and Batman's disappearance. An almost supernatural quiet settled over the city, as if we all needed to digest these unsettling events. Even the criminals seemed to retreat for a time, unsure how to operate in a universe that was suddenly wildly out of balance. But they soon came crawling out of their holes, ready to rape and ransack the city that no longer had a Cape Crusader to protect her. What they didn't realize was that Batman can never die. Of course, this is where you're like, okay, this would never have happened. Wolfman would never have allowed it.
Yeah.
Right,
that's supposed to be Dick.
Yes. With understandable reluctance and then a growing determination, Dick Grayson took up the mantle, bore the burden of the legend. The new Batman that emerged a year after the original disappearance was less angry, more compassionate, but no less effective and no less admired. Dick moved into Wayne Manor, assuming the wealthy, self-indulgent playboy role Bruce had often adapted, with Alfred, ever loyal Alfred, always nearby to offer guidance, and of course, a cup of tea. and a nourishing meal. And Bruce Wayne, headquartered in the heart of Gotham, and now he did what he promised, walking proudly in the light, using his fortune to transform not just the city, but the planet. The Wayne Foundation funded global initiatives to vanquish hunger, reverse climate change, and end poverty and war. Has he saved the world? No, but he's damn well making a difference. Is it any wonder I fell in love with the man? It happened so slowly, so subtly that it took years for us to even realize it. Professional respect became friendship, friendship became romance, romance became a sacred union. Bruce and I were married not long after Jason left the Dev Institute. That lost, broken boy transformed more by his own efforts than mine into a deep-feeling young man of strength and wisdom. The trauma of those early years would always be with him, but he used that trauma to learn, grow, and help others. With advanced degrees in sociology, psychology, and psychiatry, he joined my staff at the Institute, then moved on to become an associate director at Arkham, working to save the very souls he once viewed as mortal enemies. We were so proud of him. He'd faced so much, came so far, and we knew beyond a doubt that Jason Todd had a good and a valuable life ahead of him. That, like Bruce and Dick, he had left a positive impact on the world. We were wrong.
Yeah, this is what made me go.
I kind of get it. I kind of get it. Like we said, this Jason was more damaged than we thought.
Yeah.
And clearly, Joker being reborn in him kind of makes sense, and it is playing off of what even they've said about Red Hood. He's trying to be he is like the Joker in many ways.
And what Joker was.
Right. So I get it. Now that I've gone over, does this ending make a little more sense? Just a little, not a lot.
Kind of sense. This still comes across as a open-ended.
Well, that was the whole point.
What JM DeMatteis said in your interview with him.
Yeah, it can either end here or they can pick it up again if they want to. But I gotta say though, I do feel this is a little too definitive. Bruce giving it all up.
And the criminals would not just fold.
Well, it sounds like they may seem like it was like a week or so that they were quiet.
Oh.
But I agree. I mean, again, for what this was, it's fine. But I think it just dives way too hard in the AU territory at the very end.
Yeah, kind of like
territory.
When this story ends, it will have a new different status quo.
Not great. It's taking advantage of the fact this is not in continuity, but I was hoping for this to be something that would more fit continuity, in its own way.
So did I.
But again, for what this is, it's not a bad story. And I would say, overall, it's not a bad story, and I can see some semblance of it being how things would have played out. Not the ending, of course.
Hey, kind of actually not refreshing to see that these DeMatteis saw the Jokers as like how I have theorized, the wanting to die.
Yeah, what? Look at that. At last.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I thought about you.
Yeah. Alternate ways, the last words would have been, it's finally over. Or
yeah. But again, that's interesting though. But overall, what did you think about this story?
Like the opening is something that would have been better overhauled and done so that it picks up from after the UN incident. And maybe also, if you think about that, the UN incident happened, and then we could have had more pages to tell the story and other stuff that had to be compressed into.
True, but not that many pages. Not like the whole issue, was it?
Yeah, okay, not for the whole page, but something more than what it was left there.
But what we had here again was, I would just say it's interesting. Is it great? No, but it's not crap. Can we agree that it's not crap?
Yeah, that's definitely what it's not. It's a good story, but it's kind of
a little self-indulgent.
Yeah, self-indulgent and kind of questionable. And
I would say that.
And there.
I think I could see maybe not all of it, but a lot of this matching up the continuity until this moment.
Oh.
Like everything up to here perfectly would still fit in a continuity to a degree. But Batman would have stopped him or Jason wouldn't have pulled it.
Oh.
The moment it pulled the trigger is when everything went off. Plus, I'm not a fan of Bruce just confirming Bruce's, mindset. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, in some cases it's better to be left ambiguous or show what he believes happened when he's the only witness to the...
No, I'm not talking about the killing. I'm talking about the whole, I've done more harm than good.
Okay, that is
I am not happy that he just gives into it.
That's self-pitying. That on its own. If you
Dick and Alfred basically said they called him out on it.
Good, at least good that happened. Because when you self-pitying yourself, that's the moment when. Like Scott Snyder did the whole thing where Bruce was kind of self-pitying or something, and straight up had Alfred slap him to the face and hey, now stop doing that.
Exactly. But here, though, they're letting him do it. Also, not a fan of Dick becoming the playboy.
Yeah, that's kind of at this point, he would have been more involved with Starfire.
Yeah, but again, they're ignoring the Titans part.
While acknowledging that most heroes...
I would give this like a good low 7-ish, you know what I mean? Like a 7.1.2.
Yeah, kind of mid-average.
Mid-average, yeah. Again, it's good. Would I recommend this as a look-through? Yes, but not like a must-buy. This is not a must-buy, but wait, this is be a wait for sale. For the trade.
Yeah.
Like, wait for the trade, then wait for the trade to go on sale to get it.
Yeah.
Is that a good way of looking at it?
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good rating system, isn't it? Yes, the wait for sale can still apply if there's a trade, which we know there's going to be.
Yeah.
But would I want a follow-up? And out of curiosity, yes, but I'm not saying yes. Basically,
no.
I'm content where it's at.
Down the line at some point, maybe, but no hurries.
Yeah, no hurries whatsoever. Again, I am curious on this new world. I am, but it just feels like it just swerved.
Yeah, not to mention, Gordon was not shown much. Barbara wasn't shown much.
We never got their point of perspective.
What were their reactions to this?
Exactly. And I get it. It's easy. It's better to keep a focus on specific characters and not trying to bring in too many others.
No, but still,
all you want to focus on
if it tries to have the finality that it clearly has, it should acknowledge the others who are also
Agreed. But again, no. But overall, this was decent. It's the ending. Now, does the ending disappoint? No.
But it makes you go, huh?
It makes you go, huh? Okay. It feels like, I hate to say it. Well, one, we already know that he was written into the corner with Joker's death. Can we agree to that?
Yeah.
That was written into the corner because he wanted that to happen. But everything else feels like he wanted to set it up for a follow-up.
Those kind of things always whether you want to write for a follow-up.
Again, am I curious?
This actually is something that I was just thinking about. Bruce focused on turning the Wayne Enterprise to do this, and this. Isn't the Wayne Enterprise already doing these things?
Exactly. Well, it's always been up in the air just how much they've been doing it. Sometimes he would do like a few things here and there, but not much. I think it's him going hog wild onto it. You know, like kind of like, remember when Scott Snyder was having him do that big project?
Yeah.
I think, but that was something that took him a while to get there. I think there's a case where he's in the mindset where he's going to focus more on it.
Oh.
But yeah, but again, overall, this was at least decent, I will say. This was decent.
Yeah, decent to pay attention to and use it as a footnote to mention.
Exactly. And is it fantastic? No. But I'm not upset it exists.
Yeah, basically it's a
and this is above it exists territory. This is above that. Can we agree on that? Because it exists is a bit of a, like, it's so mediocre. This is not mediocre.
Yeah.
Because again, there's a lot of good ideas.
Hey. Good ideas, but also kind of held back by being how much it's condensed.
Yeah. And again, it asks some interesting questions, but then the answers by the end are like, oh.
What are we supposed to do with this?
Exactly. But again, is that all bad? Not entirely.
But yeah, it could be worse.
It could have been a lot worse. But we know DeMatteis is still top tier writing.
Yeah.
Even his weakest is not bad. Can we agree to that? Even his weakest is not that bad.
Yeah, that's kind of that. Outside of Red Sun, I think I don't have that's
but even that one, no, we already know there was more to it than that.
Yeah, it's true. If I ever do any kind of clip show or retrospective on comparisons or a list of good and bads, and I'll probably clip out his answer from your interview and just have that play, and then
you think if you're gonna probably do that if you end up having if say you ever got a copyright strike and you redid it?
Maybe. Although I'm not sure if that's gonna help much. The ones that I had to upload already with the Hush Superman vs. the Elite and even the Dark Knight Returns, those have been stagnatingly going up, and even
I know, man. I know. I'm trying. I try to help you out whenever I can, dude.
Yeah, but probably it also depends on when at what point of day they are also released. That also.
Yep. Oh well. Anything else you want to say about this?
Well, it got me something to acknowledge into the Three Jokers video. I'm still, and I also need to see and where to put it on somewhere that I have not yet edited. Yeah,
but again, like I said, DeMatteis does have the advantage of this, something that deals with it immediately after, and he obviously re-looked back over the main story, whereas Jeff Johns wasn't required to do that.
Yeah.
But that is a bit of a difference, wouldn't you say? It's like, I mean, I'm not saying that's an excuse. All right, so that's all we got then. Thank you for joining me in this, Pika. Thank you, everyone else. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
And may your heart be your guiding key.
Yep.